Hey, this is Stedman from Action Figure Overload doing a review of DC Comics Multiverse Suicide Squad Diablo action figure. Diablo is the other Walmart exclusive in addition to Rick Flag. You check out my review of Rick Flag by clicking the link in the description below. Looking at the box, we can see at the top left we have the Suicide Squad logo. Something different with this box, the Suicide Squad logo is a solid gray color as opposed to the other boxes that will have a rainbow color effect on it. And you can see what I mean with the side-by-side comparison right here. I really like the colored version of it better. It makes the box stand out, and I don't really understand why there's a difference between the boxes. Majority of the figures come with the colored logo. The only ones that don't are Deadshot, Batman, and now Diablo. Moving down, we see the DC Comics Multiverse logo at the top, the window display showing the figure, Diablo's portrait from the movie in the bottom left, and the Suicide Squad Diablo label next to that. On the right side of the box, we have the Diablo portrait here from the movie with the Suicide Squad logo at the bottom. And on the back, we have the rest of the figures in the wave, starting with the other Walmart exclusive Rick Flag, and again, the Wave 1 and Wave 2 mixtures. Batman, Deadshot, and Harley Quinn are all from Wave 1, and Katana Boomerang are all from Wave 2, so those will be coming out soon. And on the last side, of course, there's nothing but the Suicide Squad logo. So after taking them out of the box, I just need to say, wow, there is a lot of detail in this figure. I mean, look at that face, the tattoos on the face, there's the logo on the jacket, and there's some other details in the jacket that we'll get into. The flame hands are really cool. I mean, he's just a lot going on with him, and I like it. Let's take a look at the hand accessories that he comes with and a closer look at those flame hands. So these are the hands that he comes with. He has one set of regular hands and they're in an open fist gripping position. I like that because he can grip onto items, he can hold things in both hands or in one or the other, whichever one you decide to put them in. And they're just standard hands. There's nothing really like special happening with them, and they just pop right on out and they just slide right on in the peg hole. The other set of hands he has are these flame hands. Now these weren't exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting them to have regular fisted hands like attached to the figure, and then flame accessories that you can position in his hands. But I like these a lot better. They put a lot of detail into the flames, and so you can see the coloration. So it's like the darker red in the tips, and then the lighter orange in the middle of the flame, and then you can see the flame colors changing from the fingertips. And I like how they added the fingertips being like kind of on fire too, and even like the veins, the flame effects in the hands. I think that's pretty cool. The sculpt is really cool. I like the ripple effects and how it goes up and down, creating that flame feel, that flame effect look. That, in addition with the color scheme that they chose, makes for a pretty good accessory for the flame hands. Here's a look at the other hand. We see the same flame details on the back of the hand, extending to the fingertips where the flame comes out of his fingers. And then there's like the darker orange, and then to the lighter orange, to the darker orange red for the tip. This flame is a lot longer than the other. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two. So this one is definitely longer on the right hand, and then the left hand as the shorter flame. Again, on this one, the details on it are really good. The sculpt is really nice, how there's the ripple effects happening on this hand as well. And again, with the details in the flame, I like how they added the lighter portion of the flame to kind of make the flame pop out on the hands. So here's a close-up with his regular hands in, and when you're ready to swap them out, they are pretty snug in there. They do require just a little bit of force to get them out. A little more than I'd like, but you know, you gotta make sure that the hands stay in there, so that's good. So there's one. So you can have the regular hand in with the effect hand in on the other side, and then if you want both the hand effects in, so there you have it. Getting into the details of the figure, wow. The amount of detail that they put into the tattoos and like the jacket logos and everything, and just the way that it came out, it looks amazing, and I am really impressed with that. Starting with the tattoos, we have the question mark on the forehead, and then the two tattoos on the side of the forehead, which is really cool. the tattoos around the eye and the mustache, but what really impressed me was the Diablo tattoo on the chin. I thought that came out really nice, and the paint is so crisp. You can totally see it says Diablo. There's no splotches or anything like that, which would, you know, indicate that there is any haste or anything like that. So I think it came out extremely well. Under the chin and on the neck, we can see that there's a 13 tattoo, which also came out like really good. The sharp edges and the lines on the paint were just awesome. Looking at the back of his head, we have the HS13, which also came out extremely well. And he does have a tattoo on the back of his neck. We can't really make out what it is. It's just a bunch of lines right now because the jacket's in the way. But I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Looking at all the other tattoos that he has on him, they came out fantastic. And I think that that's one of the best features of this figure. Looking at the jacket, we have the Diablo patch in the front, and so that came out very well. The writing is clear. It's no splotches. There's no like running in the paint. And so I'm really impressed with that. But even more impressive is the back of the jacket, and this is just awesome right here. The Hillsiders, East Los Angeles, estimated 1922. This, the skull and the hat and the flames, the writing in East Los Angeles, and even the Hillsiders. I think that came out extremely well, and it looks fantastic. I really like the yellow around the collar to give it that true Letterman jacket sweater feel, and you even have the yellow around the wrist as well for the cuffs. The only thing that I see is that there's some paint chipping off on it on the yellow. That's the only place I see that. Everything else is good. There's a little bit of paint splotching in the sleeve from the yellow there, and I think I saw some on the back of his arm right here as well. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You can barely see it, and it can also just go into that effect, like the Warren effect, how some jackets kind of fade just a little bit. So not that big of a deal. I'm not too worried about it. I'm too blown away by everything else that's so well with the jacket and so well with the paint apps. For the rest of his clothes, he just has a plain white tank top that you can see. The jacket covers it up, so that's fine. It's just a plain white tank. Solid gray pants. I do like this chain that he has on here. I think that the silver that they use for the chain and the little black wash that they did helps make it stand out. So he has his chain, and he has the pendant here as well. The belt hanging off was black with the silver belt buckle, so that's cool. And there's nothing else but solid gray pants. It has white shoes with a little bit of black paint on the side. So all in all, the paint apps on this figure are phenomenal. There's a couple splotches on the jacket of yellow, and that's not that big of a deal because everything else just looks fantastic with all the tattoos and all the logos and everything on the jacket and the flame hands. I think this figure came out pretty darn good. For the articulation, his head moves left and right. It moves up just a little bit, up and down just a little bit, so that's cool. I like that because you can see more of the tattoos, so that articulation is great for him there. His arms move out and rotate forward. They also have the upper bicep swivel. His arms bend at the elbow. They don't rotate at the elbow, so okay. The wrist spin, has wrist rotation there. He has an ab crunch, which allows him to move forward, not too much really, but he can move back. It is slightly hindered by the jacket, but he does have an ab crunch. You can utilize that. Waist rotation, so that's good. His legs move out about that much, and this leg is hindered by the chain, so you don't really want to move that one out too much. They do move forward about that much, and they have upper thigh rotation, bending at the knees, and just a little bit of foot movement right there. So Diablo stands in at about 6 inches. Here he is next to his Walmart exclusive counterpart, Rick Flag. And here he is with all the other figures in the wave. And let me just say, I love how this team is coming together. They look fantastic. I didn't expect much from this figure at first, but after reviewing him, my mind has definitely changed. With the awesome paint apps and details on the tattoos, the jacket, and the flame hand accessories, this figure easily became one of my favorites in the wave. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. You can subscribe to this channel by clicking the link in the description below. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching.